What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we're talking about the upcoming anniversary event. If you want to test this out for yourself, it is currently up on the public test run by the way, which is also where I'm recording this from. Now, there are a couple of things you can do to prepare yourself for this event right now, so you don't even have to wait for the event to come out. So for the purpose of this, a little bit about the event itself. It's an upcoming event. It's basically the entire patch 11.5 will be taking place in Tanaris, where we're doing the anniversary event, and throughout this event you'll be completing activities which is daily quests, killing world bosses, and getting currency and loot. Now the currency you get you can then spend on, for example here you have an armor vendor to buy transmog items, and they require something called a bronze celebration token. Now those you will not be able to do anything with at the very moment, but if we go down here we have another NPC with a little bit more items as well. So we have something called Heroic Relic Coffer Key Exchanger, Normal Relic Coffer Keys, and Raid Finder Relic Coffer Keys.
I offer the mountain's finest.
So if you talk to this guy, you can see that we now have time-warped relic coffer keys, and exchangers will trade keys for valuable Blackrock Depths loot at the Bronze Celebration Hub at Tanaris, a maximum of 120 keys. So you can then spend these keys on certain loot. Now, the keys and the bronze tokens you can currently not farm, so they are not relevant to the preparation video, but they're relevant in order to understand what loot and what items you get here. But a couple of items you can also buy. If we talk to this NPC right here, for example, the Stormpike Supply Officer, is that they will require a combination of items. We have a Mark of Honor and we have Time Warped Badges. Now this guy will just sell you out of I don't know, out of date loot kind of, Stormpike loot, which is scaled up by the way to Time Forge or Time Warped of 450. And if you're lacking transmog items here, well, these are very cheap and can give you some good transmogs. Alternatively, if you have a very fresh character you want to level up, you can get some loot as well, even though that's like super fresh though. Now, you also have some mounts you can buy. We have timely trinkets here, I think that's pets, and also certain cosmetics. So we have some cosmetics here, we have the balloons you can buy, which once again cost you the bronze celebration tokens. But then we have the Azure World Chiller. It's a mount you can buy for 5,000 time warp badges. You have the Illidari Doomhawk for another 5,000 badges. You have the exquisite costume set for Edwin Van Cleef. This is like from Warlords of Draenor, I believe, that you can now buy for 200 badges. You have this one, another cosmetic for 200 badges. You have the bronze tinted sunglasses, cosmetic for 200 badges. And as you can see, we have a bunch of mounts.
For silk, leather, and steel.
So from this vendor, for example, we have both mounts, we have pets, we have cosmetics, we have more cosmetics and more celebration items, all of which cost us time warped badges. And this is not a new currency, this is something we've been gathering for a while now, and you can prepare these right now. Now you have more vendors here as well that will require time warped badges. You can even buy transmog items from vanilla WoW for time warped badges. So a lot of items here will be buyable with time warped badges at this event. It's either time warped badges or the new currency, or a combination of both. So you can start gathering these time warp badges right now in the War Within. This guy as well, for example, Bobadormu, he's selling you the reins of the Frey Feather Hippogriff for another 5,000 time warp badges. You have Kraggles the pet for 2,200, you have Misty the pet for 2.2k, you have the Practice Revenger for 200 of them, and you have this Claymore cosmetic item for 2.5k. And if we scroll past here, you have way more cosmetics that are once again for about 1 to 2.5k each. So TLDR, you will need a lot of time warp badges if you want to buy everything that is buyable in this event. And the thing is, you can start working on these badges right now, starting this week. So I am recording this video on Monday, and starting tomorrow for North America, or on Wednesday for EU, we actually have the return of time walking. As you can see here, the time walking event begins here, time walking dungeon event. While this event is active, players level 30 or higher may access a special time walking dungeon finder queue, which scales players and their items down to revisit past dungeons from the Burning Crusade. While time walking, bosses will yield loot appropriate for players' natural level. During Burning Crusade time walking, you may assemble a raid group of between 10 and 30 players, travel to Shattrath in Outland, and speak with Wormu to access a time walking version of the Black Temple raid. Now, this means you can start doing time walking right now, both dungeons and the raid. Now, the thing is, when time walking comes around, there's usually a quest available that can give you 500 time warped badges, and that is not a one-time quest, by the way. You can do that on all of your characters. So opening up this one, for example, and putting it up here, we can take a look at this. We have a lot of quests here, that all of which gives you 500 time warp badges, and one of these should be available to you when this event comes out, and there's a bunch of them, so I don't know which one exactly is from the Burning Crusade, but you should have at least one of them, and the one that is usually here for 500 badges is the one from the dungeons. I do believe raids have one as well. So you could do both the dungeon and the raid to get even more badges, but if you don't want to do the raid, you can literally just queue up, do a dungeon, do one dungeon per character, get the quest, hand that in, get 500 badges per character. Now you can farm it infinitely as well, and I do want to talk about that, but number one is that you can literally do one time walking dungeon on a character, get a quest, get 500 badges, and be done. Go to the next character and rinse and repeat, because once again, when the event comes out for the actual anniversary, you will need thousands. So 500 per character. If you have 10 characters, that is 5,000. If you have 20, that is 10,000, and so on. So the more characters you have, once again level 30 plus, the more of these badges you can start stacking up right now and then spend during the actual anniversary event. Now, the thing is, you can get 500 really fast, or you can keep spamming it. Referring back to the Dragonflight expansion here, leveling up during time walking was actually the fastest way to level up alt, and I believe it could end up being that again. Now, TBC time walking dungeons have typically not been the best or the fastest, so we're gonna have to find out, but you can, for example, level up a character from level 70 to 80 in, let's just say, 5 hours, right? And you end up getting 2,000 badges by the end of that. So you can combine preparing yourself for the anniversary event and also leveling up characters at the same time. It's going to be a great time to do both of those things, preparing yourself for the event, leveling up alts, everything at the same time. And people usually do time walking anyway for that time walking bonus quest, so queues are typically fast. If you're a DPS, that really matters, by the way, because heroic queues right now, they are kinda trash, and normal dungeon groups while leveling, that queue as well is kinda trash, so time walking queues are typically faster, especially in the first couple of days when everyone wants to get their box of normal raid loot or heroic raid loot. I don't know which one we get this time, but either way, people usually get a weekly quest at level 80, giving them a piece of raid loot, which makes the queues much faster. Now, the main point of this video was just to, number one, remind you that the time walking event is back, and number two, you can get 500 time warp badges really fast on every character. Number three, you can level up characters at the same time and farm more badges, and number four, you will need a bunch of badges during the anniversary event. That is pretty much what I have for you today, so if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and thank you all so much for the support since the launch of the War Within. It really means a lot to me, and I can't say thank you enough, so once again, thank you one more time. Either way, that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and best of luck both in the time walking event and the anniversary event. Thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it. I will see you again in the next video very soon. Bye bye now.